You're watching News 19 Saturday morning.
One is dead, several are injured, and one person is still missing after a boat crash on Lake Murray late Friday night. Good Saturday morning, and thanks for joining us. I'm Janae Frazier. Now, this boat crash happened last night on Lake Murray between the Frayed Knot Bar and Grill and Dreer Island. Law enforcement agencies and the SCDNR are still searching in the area. The crash is believed to have happened just before midnight, and we're told that 2 boats were involved. We will continue to keep you updated as more information comes in. Well, we started off with beautiful sunny weather this morning. To see if it will continue, let's go now to meteorologist Daniel Vance. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning, Janae. You're right. We're seeing a lot of sunshine all across the Midlands and the Palmetto State. We'll start off, though, with a live look at Edisto Beach State Park. A nice day out there on the beach. You can see a few families out there enjoying the sunshine, and as we know, as we continue to get to the warmer months, we'll start seeing more people enjoying our beaches. As far as temperatures are concerned and were concerned, temperatures were generally in the mid to low 80s over the last several days. Yesterday, though, we jumped up to 90 degrees. That was the first 90-degree temperature we've had so far this season, and it looks like we may see another 90-degree day today, but it's not going to last long, so we've got some changes on the way for the second half of the weekend. Things are warming up already, though. 80 degrees in Lexington and Columbia, 77 degrees Camden, Winsboro, Newberry. It's 78 degrees St. Matthews, Orangeburg, Sumter. 75 degrees in Manning. Right now, the cool spot, Aiken, checking in at 73 degrees. We are enjoying that sunshine. Our satellite radar composite confirms that. A little bit of a breeze coming out of southwest. May have some breezy conditions later today, anywhere from about 10 to 15 miles per hour. But we are enjoying a good bit of sunshine all across the area. A little bit of a wider view shows some clouds in the upstate of South Carolina, but we're cloud-free basically across most of the Palmetto State this morning. We'll put our forecast into motion for you. As we mentioned, we've got some changes on the way for the second half of the weekend. We're dry today. We'll call it partly cloudy skies. A few clouds move into the area tonight. We're starting off our Sunday partly to mostly cloudy. Here we are, 10 o'clock Saturday or Sunday morning. We got some clouds in place, some showers already moving into the upstate of South Carolina. And then during the afternoon and evening hours, we are expecting some strong thunderstorms to start moving through the area. We'll see opportunity for showers and thunderstorms during the evening and maybe even overnight hours, even into Monday. We're still expecting the chances for some rain. Some of those storms could be strong or even severe. The Storm Prediction Center does have us under a marginal risk for severe weather for tomorrow, and that would include these thunderstorms that develop could produce some damaging winds. That's something we'll be watching for Sunday. Temperatures will be kept down tomorrow. 84 degrees our high with the rain in place. 72 degrees on Monday. Clouds lingering on Tuesday. 79 degrees our high, and then we'll start to see those clouds decrease. Temperatures will be increasing. 86 degrees on Wednesday. Low 90s for highs both Thursday and into Friday. But for today, partly cloudy conditions. It's going to be a dry start to the weekend with these high temperatures climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s. Tomorrow, though, we will be prepared for some showers and storms. As we mentioned, some of those thunderstorms could be strong or severe. We'll take another look at your forecast, though, coming up in just a few minutes. Janae?
Thanks so much, Daniel. Well, Lexington deputies have released more information about the death of Keon Brantley. He's the 18-year-old that was found shot and burned last Saturday night near the Pacesbrook Apartments near Columbiana Center Mall. Deputies have released new surveillance video that they hope may help catch who killed him. They say the video shows Brantley leaving his apartment complex Saturday around 9 p.m. wearing a burgundy hoodie, a black backpack, and Nike foam shoes.
Those items are important in our investigation because they were not recovered by first responders when they arrived on the scene. So sometime between shortly before 9 o'clock and when investigators, firefighters, other responders arrived here on scene shortly before 10 Saturday night, those items went missing. So we're urging anyone who has seen those items, who has heard any discussion, talk, chatter about those items, to call Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC.
They also say he was carrying a box which had an AK-47 rifle in it, but they say that gun was recovered at the crime scene, but they don't believe it was used to kill him. Richland deputies continue to investigate an armed bank robbery that happened yesterday. It happened around 4 at the TD Bank on Garners Ferry Road. No one was hurt in the robbery, but deputies continue to look for the people responsible. If you have any information that can help, call Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC. And the man responsible for the Charleston church massacre has been moved into federal custody. Dylan Roof pleaded guilty earlier this month to state murder charges. He was then given 9 life sentences without parole. This comes several months after he was sentenced to death in federal court. He has been held in the Charleston County Jail since June of 2015. It's unclear which federal prison the U.S. Marshals Service will take him to. Well, drones, boats, and skilled rescuers were all on the river training for the warmer weather that brings more folks to the river. This week, 5 people were rescued from the Saluda River after they were disoriented. Firefighters are training for those kinds of emergencies, and our News 19's Sonia Gutierrez was there.
So just simply start with your.
For every interview, I ask folks to state and spell their name.
Lakeisha Edmonds. Well, can I start over? I'm gonna do my married name. I'm
Oh.
gonna be married. I got a new name. Oh.
Lakeisha Oriole is getting married by the river tomorrow. But today, the river was not a place for celebration. It was a place for work.
These are irreplaceable for us, and we wish we could do them more.
This weekend, firefighters from Columbia and West Columbia are going through training in a 2.5-hour rescue scenario.
All 8 heads are above water. They're doing throw bags. They're searching.
Navigating the team off drone images, Chief Daniel McManus says one of the most common scenarios happens when SCNG has to release their dam, and that pushes a lot of water through a fairly small area.
Not a lot of public knows about it, so we want them to know that, 3 horn blasts are about the time. By the 3rd, it's very high.
This is the sound that will warn you. By the 2nd siren, Chief McManus wants you to start moving.
So if you're outside enjoying the rocks, that's great. But we want you to know by that 2nd blast, it's going to start to rise quickly. And by that 3rd, there's not many between you and the shore.
I didn't know about that.
Lakeisha Oriole is glad she now knows what the sirens are for.
And I'm sure if I didn't know about it, there's thousands more people here in the area that didn't know about it either.
Sonia Gutierrez, News 19 WLTX.
Firefighters hope this information will help them. They have more than a dozen emergency calls each year on the Saluda River. The training will be going on throughout the weekend. And just down the Saluda River, the Congaree National Park is celebrating National Park Week. The 27,000-acre park is hosting 2 days of events this weekend, starting today at 9 with a celebration of wilderness. The park, located in Hopkins, allows for folks to hike, camp, canoe, and just enjoy nature. The Congaree Chief of Interpretation says there's always something to discover in the park.
Some of the tallest trees in the east are found here. We have a couple dozen champion trees here, so it really is, it's an amazing, beautiful, wild place. We have over 25 miles of trails and are in the process of opening and developing new trails. It's just a great place to come out.
A recent National Park Services report shows that the Congaree National Park had an $8.5 million impact last year from visitors. And our state parks, along with the forests of the Midlands, have been seeing the living symbol of power and freedom a lot more often. There have been multiple sightings of bald eagles across the Midlands. News 19's Lana Harris has the story.
It's kind of unmistakable when you see an eagle's nest.
And Chapin resident Hansel Hart just has to take a walk in his yard.
And they've nested on the property in different locations, and right now they happen to be nesting right near the house.
Hart says the 2 eagles have been coming back for 15 years.
The surprising thing is that, we never saw them build the nest. It was just there kind of all of a sudden.
But they're not the only ones spotting our nation's bird. Newberry Mayor Foster Sin snapped a photo of this eagle from their downtown area.
We're real happy.
On the phone is wildlife biologist Charlotte Hope with the Department of Natural Resources. She says she's seen the eagle population make a huge comeback in our state.
When I started, we had approximately 35 nests or so, and now I'm monitoring right at 400.
Once an endangered species, Hope says you may now see these majestic creatures all around our state near bodies of water.
Their main diet is fish and waterfowl, so they're always going to be associated with water.
Central Midlands can see them around any of our rivers and flying around Lake Murray. But Hope says if you want to see them around our parts, you'll have to break out the binoculars soon.
End of April, there may be a few still hanging around in early May, and then they typically head north for the summer?
It's definitely nice to have them back. You know, it's good to see the populations coming back. They certainly are fun to watch.
Lana Harris, News 19, WLTX.
Now, the bald eagle was taken off the endangered species list back in 2007, but are still monitored and protected under the Bald and Golden Eagle Protection Act. Well, it's a race against time for Congress. Lawmakers returned to work Monday with just 5 days to pass a plan to keep the government from shutting down. Right now, federal agencies are only funded through next Friday. As we've seen before, it's possible they might pass a short-term measure to keep the government funded for a few days or weeks to give themselves some time to negotiate. Well, just days after a shooting in Paris, France is preparing for the first round of its presidential election. The race is very tight, with 4 candidates separated by only a few points. This week, former U.S. President Barack Obama called to one candidate, Emmanuel Macron. French people will go to cast their vote tomorrow, with their current president having an approval rating of less than 30%. And happening right now at Earlwood Park, the city is hosting its annual Cornbread Festival. Our Lana Harris is live, and she's with us now to show us what's going on. Hey, Lana.
Hey, Janae, yeah, it's just getting started, so I grabbed Veronica Rodriguez here to tell us all about everything that's going to happen today. Veronica, I'm seeing a lot of commotion.
There's a lot going on. It's 11 o'clock. This is starting time, and so all our vendors are in place, and we're really ready to have people come out and enjoy us today.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be a great time. Can you talk about some of the things that people can expect to see here?
Well, it's fantastic weather. We thank God for that, but we have a huge kiddie land with all sort of bouncy houses and face painting for the kids. We have a huge car and bike show. We have various vendors who are selling all sorts of things, and of course we have food. We have crab legs, we have fried oysters, we have everything you can think of, the usual ribs and turkey legs and all of that sort of stuff. We're looking forward to entertaining everybody from the community today.
Man, crab legs, ribs, turkey legs, you hit some right spots with a lot of people with that. And of course, cornbread. I mean, that's what's bringing everybody here. So can you talk about what can we see with cornbread today?
Well, we have an area called Cornbread Alley, and in there they have a variety of kinds of cornbread. Cheesy cornbread, the sweet cornbread that some of us like, the old-fashioned crackling cornbread that some of us grew up on, there's also a cornbread cook-off, so we've had a number of people from the community who feel their cornbread is the best, have a competition, and you'll be able to meet our cornbread cook-off winner. Just everything about cornbread today.
Okay, cornbread, and different types of cornbread. I didn't know that. That's really cool. So then, in years past, you've been doing this for 5 years. How big has this thing been?
I think our largest attendance was about 8,000 people, and so we are trying to continue to grow it and welcome everyone throughout Columbia, Lexington, and this surrounding area. We are trying to benefit a program that our organization runs, the North Columbia Business Association, which is called the Buddy and Benjamin program. And what we do is provide school books to low-income kids throughout the community. In addition, we provide books for them just to read and take home. And very often it's the kids' first book that they own. So we think a love of reading is the basis of those entrepreneurs that we're going to have in the future to join our business association. So we're growing them from the time that they're small.
Awesome. Thank you so much for talking to us. Hey, reading is fundamental. So, you know, you're benefiting reading and kids. You're getting some great food, some cornbread, some fun for the kids. So, you know, it's going to go on until 7 o'clock today. So you have plenty of time to get out here.
Thanks so much, Lana. Also happening today, the State Fairgrounds is hosting its March for the Babies. The walk began just past 8 o'clock this morning, and it's being held to raise money for babies born prematurely. Food and family activities also followed the run. Studies show that 1 in every 9 babies born in the U.S. are born prematurely. Our very own Ashley Isbicki of News 19 This Morning was also one of the hosts of the event. And here in the Midlands and across the nation today, there will be marches for science. Here in Columbia, there will be a rally at the State House to raise awareness for climate change. It began just a few minutes ago at 11, and it will run until about 1 o'clock. The rally is expected to feature 14 speakers, and it will be one of about 500 rallies worldwide. Also today, Dynamic Health and Fitness will be holding its Heroes in Blue fundraiser. The event was founded in memory of Gregory Elliott, an officer who was killed in duty in 2015. It began at 8 this morning and it will run until 1 this afternoon at Dynamic Health and Fitness in West Columbia. It will also feature an auction, a DJ, food, and a Zumbathon. All proceeds will go to the Heroes in Blue Foundation. Well, firefighters on the West Coast have spent the night battling flames. How it started and a look at your weekend forecast when we return.